Welcome to another edition of Prime Video Sneak Peek. India, New Zealand, Manchester, a spot in the World Cup finals up for grabs. It had been 16 years since these teams last met at the Men's ODI World Cup. Their paths to the semis had been contrasting. India had bossed the league stage, New Zealand had lost their last 3 games.
Most times India play New Zealand, you would have to suggest India are favourites. The only thing is, in English conditions, New Zealand's seam bowlers can actually play a part.
They did play a part, but that was to come later. Kane Williamson won the toss and chose to bat, and he was out in the middle by the 4th over with just 1 run on the board. The Kiwi skipper, with Henry Nicholls for company at first and Ross Taylor later, began a good old ODI rebuild and brought up his 7th 50-plus score of the tournament. Ross Taylor got to a half-century too. But with New Zealand only reaching 200 in the 45th over, India wouldn't have been too fast. That's when England entered the scene. English weather, that is.
I do think a chance for New Zealand to regather, and then the conditions the next day as well were sort of favourable. It didn't exactly clear up, so it was still a bit overcast and conditions you felt that was still in the bowling team's favour. So yeah, I think New Zealand, certainly they made the most of that time off, and when they came back they were very clear about what they wanted to do.
The reserve day came into play and New Zealand added 28 runs from their 23 remaining deliveries to set India a target of 240. This was an Indian top 3 with over 1,400 runs between them at this World Cup. But this was no longer a breezy afternoon chase. It was an overcast Manchester morning and the high-flying top order was grounded by Matt Henry and Trent Boult. 5 for 3 in 3.1 overs, 24 for 4 at the end of 10.
Well, it was instrumental. It was the key, really. It had to happen at the top, and the boys were magnificent. There was the swing, there was the ability to put the Indian batsmen under pressure, and they got the wickets, which whenever you beat India, you have to make inroads at the top. And the spells there were instrumental in putting New Zealand ahead.
The effective seam attack was followed by the efficient Mitchell Santner, who gave away just 7 from his first 6 overs and removed Rishabh Pant and Hardik Pandya. India were 92 for 6 in the 31st over when Ravindra Jadeja entered, and he put every bit and piece of himself into the chase. He had MS Dhoni for company, who was playing it his own way. Jadeja, in a career-defining effort, was keeping India alive. It was 32 of 14 when Jadeja skied one off Boult to fall for 77. Dhoni began the 49th over with a 6 of Lockie Ferguson to raise hopes of a grandstand finish, but an attempt to steal a double was met with Martin Guptill's rocket arm. Dhoni had fallen short by an inch. India's World Cup dream had fallen short at the penultimate hurdle. New Zealand were through to a second straight ODI World Cup final.
Yeah, it is one of the finest victories. It obviously took some time over 2 days, but the importance of it was, the magnitude of it was so big, getting to that final, back-to-back finals, and to be able to get there and beat such a good Indian side, I think it was a big moment in our one-day cricket history.
Don't forget to catch all the action from India's tour of New Zealand live on Prime Video from November 18 to 30.